So, like I said in the clips video that you probably seen yesterday or earlier this morning, there is this is probably the most anticipated weekend that we've had in a while for music. We have JackBoys 2 and Let God Sort 'Em Out, two albums that had extremely high expectations, and to be fair, only really one of them lived up to them, and that one wasn't JackBoys 2. Do I dislike this project though? No, absolutely not. I still like it and I still have a good time listening to it. And I mean, this is kind of one of the reasons you can't use Twitter as a reliable source for like if people are enjoying an album or not. Because no matter how many people I see hate on this album, it's selling like 230,000 copies first week, which let alone is crazy in itself. The album dropped on a Sunday, and you can also say that like, oh, it's a little bit bloated because they shipped all the vinyls on the same day, and those vinyls only had 7 songs, so they can make them quicker, and all this, that, and the third. That's still crazy. Someone is out listening to this, and now obviously Travis Scott's huge, so like a lot of people are going to go out of their way to listen to it anyway. But either way, I do have problems with this project, and I'm going to start off with that. I feel like the production on here is really not that interesting. You know what I'm saying? For a Travis Scott who has literally limitless resources, limitless people you can ask for beats, limitless, and you have probably people to go out and discover the talent for you. You don't even have to know about it yourself. And I feel like this album was just kind of using the beats he didn't want to use for an album. You know what I mean? And Travis Scott does kind of have that allegation that he kind of coasts and just kind of hangs out when it comes to making music until it's album time, and then he locks in. He saves all his best quality content for his albums. And I kind of thought that this was going to break that chain because I really thought this album was going to be amazing. And to be fair, I probably gave it expectations that were unfair. And a lot of that was because of JackBoys 1. I'm going to do a lot of comparing because I feel like this album is a big what could have been scenario. Back on the topic of production, the JackBoys 1 production is insane. The Out West beat is amazing. The Gotti beat is amazing. The What to Do beat, amazing. Gang Gang, great beat. And I don't know, a lot of these songs don't have the same size as those songs. Those songs felt big. Those felt like moments. Look at us. We're on songs together. Look at how cool that is, and look at what good we can do. This is why we are the #1 label. This is why we are us. This is what we about, baby. And wow, excuse me. This album has a few reasons that it doesn't necessarily feel like that. One of which is because it's simply not as good, and second of which is my other main problem with the album is that it feels like a Travis Scott show. Like Travis is just kind of on here messing around, and then it's got a couple JackBoy features on it. You know what I mean? And there is only one song with Don Toliver and Sheck West on it with Travis. I think that's insane, and I don't know why that is. I think that's really crazy. I think that's really strange. There's not a song with all of them on it. There's not multiple songs with different combinations of them. There is one song with Travis and Don Toliver. There is one song with Travis and Sheck West. There's one song with Travis and Sofego, and then there's not even a song with Wally the Sensei. I had no idea Wally the Sensei existed, by the way. Speaking of Sofego, I think he had a standout performance on here. I think the 2 songs that he had, the one he had to himself and Contest, were really good. He sounds really hungry. He sounds like he did at the beginning of his career. I think this could be really huge for him. I hope he's able to drop more music after this and beyond this, because he can really get on this hype and really be able to make a name for himself. I know his Spotify monthly listeners literally doubled, and they'll probably triple after this, especially with how successful the album is being. Obviously, I do think kind of just by default his songs will be the least streamed ones, But I mean, that's still great. That's still big. This is a big moment for Sofego. Being on a song with Travis is a big thing. Like, just because Travis's name itself, even if the song isn't one of my favorites, it's still a good song, by the way. I mean, it's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a big moment for him. But like I said, this really does not feel like a Cactus Jack album, a JackBoys album. This feels like Travis got on here, had a lot of his kind of throwaway / some songs I like, but I don't really see where I could put them on my next project type of vibe. You know what I'm saying? And because of that, he kind of just threw the JackBoys on here. He was like, hey, you guys hop on this song, you hop on this one, you guys, I'll take that song you like and I'll put it on here too, just to bolster it up. And by the way, this album is too long too. The first JackBoys obviously is too short. It's only 7 songs. That's my only real problem with it. Is like, come on, could have got more content from that. But this one's 17. That is 10 more songs, and it feels a lot more like they took the quality and that's it. There's no real quality. It's all quantity. And I mean, it's almost an hour. Like, dang, twin, Jesus. This album's second half is significantly weaker than the first half. The first half isn't even amazing. I mean, you got Champagne and Vacay, which is a good energy song. I like 2000 Excursion. But weirdly, Don Toliver's the worst part about those songs. And that's really weird. That's not what you usually say. I really like Kick Out and Dumbo. I mean, Dumbo, I feel like Travis is kind of messing around for the first little part of it. And then he really starts to spit in that second half of it. And I'm going to get into kind of a breakdown on what I like and don't like about Travis Scott in a minute. And this song kind of has something to do with my point. By the way, a lot of the songs on here are a little long too. Like, why is Dumbo almost 4 minutes? Come on now. MM3 is pretty good. Velour is fine. It's passable. Contest is way too long, but it's a good song. I really like Sofego on it. I Love My Bitch is a good song. Where Was You is a really cool moment and a really good song. Real quick, I'm going to talk about this real quick. I feel like a lot of the really cool factor of having Playboi Carti on your song is being removed simply because he's starting to do it more. You know what I'm saying? And he's only doing it for certain people. So when Travis Scott has a surprise Playboi Carti feature, it's kind of it's losing effect. The more I hear a surprise Playboi Carti feature, the less I'm as excited about it. Because not only we've heard a Travis Scott, Future, and Playboi Carti song before. We've actually heard it like 3 times now, but just simply because it's losing its aura because he's doing it more. You know what I'm saying? He's doing it for Kanye. He's doing it for Travis Scott. He's doing it for these bigger name people. So especially when, like, if I hear a Travis Scott like next album and there's another Playboi Carti feature on it, that is a surprise. It's still cool to see, but it's becoming the same as any other hidden feature, which is, I mean, they're all cool, but there's levels to the coolness, you know what I'm saying? And Playboy's is going down to the rest of them after he was all the way up here. You know what I'm saying? This would honestly be worse if he was accepting everyone's feature and being a hidden feature for everybody. But he's honestly not. I mean, he's featuring with Lotto. I bet Offset is sick that he turned down his feature for his album. Hopefully we get that song, because the song that we heard actually sounded really good. Wait a sec, no? I think he took Offset off the song because... Never mind. My bad. I just had a little like inner realization in my head. No Comments is a pretty cool song. I like it. Beep Beep track, like the beat is the worst part. I don't know what the beat is doing. And then Saw Baby puts on a really cool verse. Again, way too long. PBT, it sucks, and that's all I'm going to say about it. Sean Travis doesn't really know what he's doing. He's kind of on here messing around, then Glorilla kind of does a cool little verse. Outside is cool. I like Outside. I like NBA Youngboy's verse at the end. I like Can't Stop. Future does a pretty good job on here, and Wally the Sensei is pretty cool. I like Wally the Sensei on it. I wish he was on more of this project. A JackBoy is on 1 out of the 17 songs on here, by the way. And Florida Flow is way too long, but Kodak Black on it is pretty good. Beat's really hard too. Anyway, I didn't really mean to go track by track on there, but I ended up doing it anyway. Travis Scott. I love Travis Scott. Y'all know this. I'm a huge fan of him. I like him a lot better than I feel like a lot of people like him. He's not a good rapper. Now, when I say that, whenever I turn on Travis Scott, I do not expect bars. I do not want him rapping over hard, kind of more blander beats, which I feel like a lot of these are. Especially like, I mean, Kick Out isn't what I'd call bland. And by the way, I like 21 Savage's ad libs on there, which by the way, I don't know if they've been like fully removed, but I wish they kind of weren't. I liked them on there. Excuse me. But like, I actually really love Travis Scott, and I feel like that's not a secret. That's not even a crazy take. Is he a good rapper though? No. He can have really nice flows, but that's not necessarily what I'm turning on Travis for. I'm turning on Travis because of the vibe he is able to curate in his music. And that is why a lot of the time I feel like he's so much better as an album artist than he is as a single artist. Like 4x4, I do not like that much. It's cool, and I like it was cool the first time I heard it. I haven't listened to it in more than 5 times. It's okay, it's mid. You know what I'm saying? I don't turn on Travis Scott for big hit singles. I turn him on because I like his vibe. I like, if you use Travis Scott right on a feature, I think he can be the best feature on an album. But if you kind of just use him as another rapper, he can be your worst. You know what I'm saying? And I think when Travis is bad, which I'm not saying is a lot, because like I said, I don't really think it's a lot. I think it's not that much. When he's bad, he is really bad. And there are some voice, like inflections and vocal things that he tries to do on here that I think sound plumb terrible. Really. Like, I genuinely think sounds plumb trash. Like, I don't know what he was doing on PBT. Some of the stuff he does on Shine, I don't know. I don't understand what he's doing. And there's a couple things on Dumbo that I don't really like. But besides that, I do really like Dumbo. The beginning of Contest, like, why he sounds just like Playboy Cardi. Come on now. Why is he doing that? And I just think this album could have been so much better. If it was trimmed of all the fat on it and, you know, minus a few of these songs and it was like 10, this would have been so much better, and it wouldn't have a glaring, like, the problems that I have with it wouldn't be as glaring. Another problem I have, and this kind of ties into the Travis Scott being on every single song and trying to do too much. The JackBoys themselves are not on this project that much past track 9. Past track 9, it is a Travis Scott show until there is a Don Toliver song. There is one Don Toliver solo song in this run. And, okay, let me put it this way. From 10 to 17, there are 2 songs without Travis Scott. And they both belong to Don Toliver. Don Toliver is only on 3, 4, yeah, 4. 4 songs out of 17. That's all the room you could find for Don Toliver. 5 out of 17 tracks to have Don Toliver. That is not only your second biggest artist, that is also a pretty good artist who's had a really good year. Hardstone Psycho was a really successful album. Why is he not on this more? Some of the stuff that Don Toliver is able to do should be able, like, you should be able to pick and pluck him better. I would have honestly preferred this if there was no other features and it was simply a JackBoys show. I mean, the first JackBoys also had other people, like it had Pop Smoke, you had a Young Thug, you had, which, you know, I mean, obviously Young Thug has the best song on the project. You got Lil Baby on there, Offset, Quavo, but also you have Don Toliver on multiple songs, Sheck West on a song, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's also a little harder to use this album as an example in like this type of comparison because it's only 7 songs and the label was significantly smaller. It was only Don Toliver, Travis, and Sheck. Now you've got Sofago, and this is not a good way to show off your newest signee with Wally the Sensei by throwing him on one song that is the shortest song on the album, excluding the intro and excluding the other Don Toliver song. That is literally the shortest song on the album. It's only 2 minutes and 9 seconds. Like, why do that to Don Toliver, man? To me, what this album, before it became JackBoys 2, was probably more of a Travis Scott mixtape, or Travis had multiple songs that he couldn't really fit on an album or on a piece of work that he was working on or is working on. And he was like, hey guys, let's mold this into JackBoys 2. And the main thing we were probably waiting on is the legalities of getting stuff cleared, all these features on here, and the JackBoys themselves to actually quickly put in and pitch in their own effort. You know what I'm saying? And I just realized how long this review is. I'm going to get past it quickly, I promise. I'm going to try and wrap it up soon. The sheer potential of all these rappers, I'm giving the album a 7 out of 10, by the way. Like, I don't even dislike the project. I like it. I just feel like it could have been the best album all year, man. We know the capability of Travis Scott when it comes to album curating and being an entertainer and making good music. We know the limitless potential and the limitless, excuse me, like possibilities of what he can pull together, and like his resources alone. And then you throw like Don Toliver and his resources on top of that. So Fago and Sheck West might not have the resources to do that, but whenever you add Travis and Don Toliver, they should be able to do whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? Like this group of rappers should have just been them. This should have been, even if it is 17 songs, you should have had all, how many did I say? 5? That's 5 people. You should have had all 5 of them spread across this entire project. I'm talking multiple, like a few So Fago inclusions. I'm talking multiple Don Toliver songs with Sheck, with So Fago, just mix and match, man. You've got endless potential, and then throw in these other features, then throw in these other voices, and make the moments even bigger. Throw in your Travis Playboy Cardi and Future song that you want to be like the hit of the song, of like the album, the one that's supposed to get the most streams. You throw it in there to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is where you give those. You know what I'm saying? This project could have been a million times better. And it honestly annoys me that it's not. And that is my biggest fault with it, is because I know the potential. Obviously, even if it didn't live up to my expectations, it still could have been better. You know what I'm saying? Which you could say that for any album ever. But like this one, I feel like it is the most glaring because it is the most short of that expectations, and it was still manageable to be good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love a lot of the songs on here. The highs are really highs, but then the lows are like dog shit. Like, I wish I never heard the second half of PPT, bro. The second half of that song is truly like whoa, what is happening? But anyway, yeah, I know this has been mostly negative, but it's still a 7 out of 10. Like I said, I love Champagne and Vacay. I love Dumbo. I love Kick Out. I love the Sofago inclusions on here. I Love My Bitch is a decent song that I think is pretty cool. No Comments is a pretty good song. Beat Beat, Saw Baby, really good verse. I like the song we'll play with Cardi and Future. I think the beat is crazy. I love that all 3 of these guys are making music. I think that's crazy. I think that's good for music. You know what I'm saying? Where's the Young Thug feature? Where's that at? I don't know. I just feel like this is also the least creative I've ever seen Travis Scott. Like, come on now, dude. There are going to be crazy conversations about Travis, and people are going to forget that he can genuinely make music after this album, in my opinion. They're going to forget that, like, what he can make because of that, and that annoys me. But I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. This video somehow turned out to 20 minutes. I don't know what kind of rant I went on. I apologize for that. But if you made it to the end, then I actually really greatly appreciate it, low-key. And I really hope you have an amazing day, and I love you, and I hope you're blessed. You should subscribe, hit that like button for the next videos. I have a couple older reviews that are probably going to be rolling out over the next couple days, because the most interesting drop that we have next week is a Joyner Lucas album that I am not excited to listen to, actually, at all. But I hope you guys have a good day, and I love y'all.